After working with multiple highly successful salespeople and entrepreneurs, I have learned and I have observed that there was one major mindset shift that they all made when they really started to take their health seriously that allowed them to scale up, double their income, double their commissions, scale their health, and overall scale their lifestyle while feeling that boost in energy, focus, and productivity. And if you didn't know, I am Sean with over 2+ years of experience in the high performance and health and lifespan longevity niches. And in this video, again, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you and why this mindset shift is so important so you can unlock daily peak performance and start feeling like Superman every single day. And you've actually probably heard this saying before. It's spread out there, but it's there for a reason. And that is that less is more. Now, in particular, less is more is extremely powerful in health. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times when people are trying to level up, right? A lot of people that come to me, I talk to, Sean, like, what's the best daily habits? Like, dude, like, what's the best supplement? And there are like great supplements, right? There are great habits. But ideally, if you go ahead and you start implementing good habits, positive habits, but you still are holding on to, or you're still being held back by bad habits, how far can you really get? And it's really interesting to think about because let's say we're playing a game of tug of war, right? Everybody knows tug of war. If you have all your desires, your goals, your ambitions, your strengths on one side of the rope, right, where you want to go in life, and then you have kind of like your current self, and you kind of have some bad habits. Maybe your sleep is very inconsistent. It's messed up. Maybe your focus is kind of in and out. You can't really sit down and lock in. Maybe you're kind of skipping workouts. You're skipping meals, just trying to eat healthy. If you're trying to do those things and you still have these bad habits in your life, it's going to make it that much more harder for those good habits to show the true difference and impact in your life, in your health, in your relationships, and in your performance. So I think the real key here is to establish a heightened and an elevated baseline. And that means by cutting out and getting rid of anything at all that can be holding you back. Again, I'll give you a few examples, really just the most common ones I've heard before. That is toxic people, right? First and foremost, we don't need vampires sucking our energy away from us. We need people that add to our energy, that contribute, inspire, motivate, challenge us in a good way, right? So toxic people, processed food of any kind, right? Skipping meals or skipping workouts, right? You need that level of consistency. Again, that wrecked, inconsistent sleep, very foggy, kind of just overwhelmed. That, my friend, that stuff is the fastest path to burnout. I promise you. You're young, more than likely, so you can get away with it now, but you will not be able to get away with it forever, and it is not sustainable. You really want to do things in life that are sustainable, because that's when you really get the big payout. That's when we hit the home run, is in the long term, right? So again, eliminate these bad behaviors first, right? And take your baseline from maybe where it may be here. Let's elevate your baseline. So now maybe you're not doing all the excellent things, right? But you don't have the bad habits holding on to you. You don't have so much of the things that can really hold you back. So when you play tug of war, right, if you still have these bad habits, you're pulling versus yourself. And again, it's so much harder, it'll take longer, and it's the fastest path to burnout. But if you eradicate all these bad habits, if you simply get rid of them and then you replace them after with positive habits, like hydrating properly in the morning and then throughout the day, making sure that you have the right routines and structure so that your body knows when it needs to focus, when it needs to be creative, and when it needs to relax and wind down. Once you start to add these things with a new established baseline, my friend, let me tell you, and I'm speaking from experience of me and a lot of other people that I've worked with, these changes, they make the biggest difference. And you won't even think about it like that, but it's because there is an elevated baseline and there's not things holding us back. It's like, imagine you just put like 1,000 horsepower motor in a car and now you gutted out all the interior and all you have is the frame of that car and the engine to take off versus we have this massive motor. But what if the car weighs 10,000 pounds? How far is it really going to go? Probably still get there, but it might blow up in the process, right? It may take twice as long and the journey is just so much more rough and is not enjoyable, which is what we're after, what we all want, okay? So these daily habits, these small habits, they have a massive impact and you can really see tangible results from them. And as soon as 2 to 3 days and really see great results from them in as soon as 1 to 2 weeks. Every single client I've worked with, they've had their overall transformation and optimal life, yes, in 3 or 4 months, but they all got results within 1 to 2 weeks. And I put that on my mother. So at the end of the day, my message to you is get rid of these bad habits and then replace them with the positive habits, right? Take it one day at a time, make small changes, not drastic swings to the left or to the right. And over time, you're going to really start to see the impact, the weight and the potency that these small habits hold, and how just like consistency can work against you, everything can work for you. And that consistency compounds, can really see something beautiful and is an absolutely beautiful result. So I encourage you to make sure we eradicate these bad habits, reestablish this neutral, healthy baseline, and then slowly, day by day or week by week, month by month, start to introduce some of these other daily habits and watch your health, watch your performance, watch your income, and watch your life skyrocket, my friend. If you need to level up your health, you want to optimize your performance, you should go ahead and book a call with me down below. We'll hop on for 15 minutes if you're ready and you're tired of being exhausted to optimize, get dialed in. We'll talk for 10 to 15 minutes. We'll see where you're at. We'll chop it up. We'll look under the hood and we can go from there. All right. But I love you guys. That was my message for today. And I'll see you in the next video.